Hi, and welcome to the Mentor Maya 7 channel. My name is Margaret Tambe if you're here for the first time. And today I'll go right into the topic. I'm going to discuss if I have any regrets for traveling to the United States of America and for staying there for 15 years. It's been 8 years since I left. Have I regretted the time that I spent in the US? Secondly, at the back end, I'm going to discuss my views of the phenomenon of Africans needing to leave our continent to travel abroad to different countries. What are my thoughts on that? And stay tuned. I hope you learn a thing or two. I won't be able to talk about if I regret my stay in the US without discussing if there were any benefits of my stay in the US. If you haven't seen my previous video, I'll link it at the end. Do well to watch it so that this sector would make even more sense. Now, what were the benefits? Were there any benefits? Of course, we know that anything in life that we consider has pros and cons. I think I have belabored the cons already, so today I'm going to talk about the pros. What are some of the benefits that I acquired? The very first would be that my staying in the US really polished me as a person. Not to say that people who haven't lived in the US are not polished, but there are degrees to everything. On a day-to-day basis, there's many things that I do that are influenced by my stay in the US. The way I express myself, the way I analyze situations, the way I interact with people, the things I eat, my knowledge of finances, how to handle finances. The list is inexhaustive. Like on a day-to-day basis, I can see things that would have not been if I had only been in Cameroon and not traveled out. Okay, so that is one of the benefits for which I'm very grateful for. I cannot stand and say that acculturation or assimilation into the system was all bad. Okay, so that is one of the benefits. The second benefit is that I learned what true leadership is. On the one hand, leadership. On the other hand, what is subordination? Okay, when you work in a place where it is in actuality a melting pot of everybody in this world. Like I was talking to one Polish lady here, actually two Polish ladies here, and they said before they came to Germany, they never met any blacks. Blacks don't come to Poland. I wouldn't like to explain why. But that is what they said, and I was kind of surprised, you know. But in the US, man, everybody is there. Everybody is in this place. So the systems are huge. The cultures that come in contact and interact, you are exposed to an unimaginable experience. Yeah, so I have seen the ugly, the bad, and the most amazing forms of leaderships, and I have seen the same for subordinates. Okay, so it is a two-side thing that after living in the US for that period of time, forever in my life, if I'm in the shoe of a leader or if I'm in the shoe of a subordinate, it has framed the way I would handle it. It has framed the way I would address a leader or a subordinate, just because I stayed and lived in the US. We all know the situations in Africa when somebody is a boss, is a leader, or when somebody is a subordinate. We know how the interactions go. And that would never be a part of how I function, greatly because of my exposure in the US. The third thing that I will discuss as a benefit, which is major, is the fact that I traveled to the US and I, under pressure of the system, I studied nursing. Once a nurse, always a nurse. Whether you are in practice or not, even the retired nurses, even the nurses in the nursing home, on the nursing home bed, are still nurses. So this impacts my life like you will not imagine it. Personally, everybody around me, people who read my status, people would watch my videos. It doesn't matter where or what topic. If it's something, because healthcare is ever changing, if it's something, a diagnosis I haven't heard about, a medication I don't know about, trust me that I am willing to jump and find information about these things. Why? Because once you've been a nurse, you are always a nurse. Is it concerning hygiene? Is it concerning anything? I would quickly put on my nursing uniform, and all of a sudden I've gone from mother to being a nurse. I've gone from being a teacher. Well, nurses are teachers, yeah? So that is one thing that would forever impact my life, and I have never regretted learning it. Like we say, knowledge is applicable. One of my guests said, knowledge is applicable. I use that nursing knowledge all the time. Now, another thing that was of benefit of me living in the US for 15 years is that I came out with some amazing friendships. I have Black Americans, I have Jamaicans, I have Gambians, I have Cameroonians, people that I met in the US that we have stayed in contact with, and they are amazing, like they step up to the plate. Yeah, so I am grateful for that, and just grateful for the variety of opinions, the variety of interactions, the different story. Like, your life gets interesting. So for those friendships and those friends who have remained in contact, I am grateful. Even for those who didn't remain in contact while we were in those tight spaces working together, I learned a lot from them. And these are things that I will carry with me everywhere I go until my last days. Okay? Now, another groundbreaking benefit that is serving me and is going to serve me for years, hopefully decades to come, is customer service. There is no place in the world, I think, I haven't been to Japan, I've not been to Australia, but I think there is no place in the world that beats the customer service that is in the United States of America. Imagine it. Every business owner, people who work in offices, it's a capitalist system. You must have your foot forward. Your workers must have their feet forward to be able to retain a customer. Even a doctor's office, the patient is not coming there because they lack options. They would come there the first time by try, then they will keep coming if your customer service is good. If not, they'll just switch. It's easy to do, So the level of customer service I saw in the U.S., and that is what is going to impact me as a business owner, is going to impact me as a service provider, is going to impact every sector of my life. As long as I'm interacting with somebody, with a patient's family, I'm interacting with a patient anywhere, in any situation, I'm even talking and teaching children. Guess what the difference is? The customer service I observed and learned and practiced in the United States of America. So I am eternally grateful for that. Now, the last point of what were the gains that I had that would last for my lifetime from the United States of America was a financial gain. Frankly, where I stand financially at this point would never have been possible if I had not traveled to the US, if I had not had the opportunity to go to a land that openly accepts and makes it possible for you to integrate, and you are by merit allowed to execute your job and pay it according to market level, and also you have the freedom to be able to make decisions on a greater part to a certain level on how you use your finances. If you're wise enough to step back from the system, take a second look, they give you have that possibility of making those choices to a certain level, I insist. So if I had been in Cameroon and maybe I did nursing in Cameroon, or I got a job as a hotel manager or a receptionist or whatever, or I'm working for the Cameroonian government, or I do a business at a small to medium scale, knowing that capital in business, capital is always an issue. So most people will enter into business from the really low meager capital level. If I had had to enter like that and to build on that, there is no way possible I would financially be at the point I am at this time. And that is all thanks to the opportunities, the possibility that I traveled to the US, and all of this was made possible. So I am grateful, I am thankful for bringing me to the level that I am right now. Now, do I regret traveling and staying in the United States of America for 15 years? Absolutely not. As I've said before, I can hardly think of any other life occurrence that has impacted me this much, okay? So, for who I am today, and for my brothers, both of them, that orchestrated the opportunity for me to travel to the United States of America. For every person that I met and interacted with, for every employer, every patient, every opportunity that I met, formal and informal, that has built me to be who I am today. My friends, I say thank you. I say thank you and may God bless you. I am grateful. I would not take that experience out of my life for anything. For anything. No part of it, even the painful parts of it, the parts that made me cringe, I wouldn't take any of them out because they make me who I am today. So I have no regrets at all. At all. Rather, I am grateful. I am grateful because I actually do appreciate who I am today. Those, iron in the rough, okay, diamonds are polished through trials and extreme heat and everything, and that is what happens. So I wouldn't be who I am today without the experience of the United States of America. Now let's talk about my views. What do I think of the fact that there is brain drain of Africa? There is our youths traveling through the desert, dying, going in the boats and sinking or being sunk by who? The police of the colonialists or other receiving countries. Others dying in Mexico, or the insults and disrespect that we receive when we do travel. Now, what are my views about traveling abroad? My views are that the youths should continue traveling. I hope that there are more and more opportunities that come up that are safe for youths to travel abroad. It is not only a means to an end, like a financial means to an end, it is also part of education. It is also part of growth and exposure. It is also a process of our minds being polished and framed. Sometimes when you're not exposed, everything is like in the la la land. You imagine things, you just see it, and what you imagine is your truth. You think it is the truth. It is good to travel, to see things, to experience things, and then to come to your conclusions, okay? The opportunities that I have had from traveling and for living out for that length of time is not something that I can sit and say that another person should not have that opportunity to do the same. Please, by all means, travel. Are you a teacher? Are you a medical doctor? Are you a nurse? Please, by all means, travel safe, okay? Travel safe. Don't go and die in the desert or in Mexico crossing. That's a big loss for all of us. No parent wants to get that type of a news. But if you have a safe way to travel, please do so. Things are not the same. Things are getting really tough and rough. There is inflation all over the world. The political climates are not the same. We all know what is happening in Britain right now. We all hear and read what is happening in Canada. We know what has happened in New York and around the Texas area with immigrants. We know the hostilities that are coming up. Please consider all of those things and know if it is a risk you want to take. Now, if you're already comfortable in Africa, you have a good job, you can provide and assure your retirement, your children's fees are guaranteed. Why would you want to go through that? Why would you want to sell your house? Like I see a lot of videos of people in Nigeria selling houses to go and do care work in Britain. Why would you want to do that? Please don't. Please don't. Okay? Don't fall for the fantasy. It's not as easy as you think. It's if you're in your 50s already, in your 55, you know the respect we are accorded back home. It's not the same thing. You will come here, people will talk down on you because, of course, you come in at an entry level. It does not matter the degrees you have. Why would you want to do that at that age? How much energy else do you have left over? Okay, is this not the time to sit and plan a proper retirement? Are you coming to start washing floors? Are you sure? Meanwhile, you are a lawyer back home. Are you coming to start taking care of patients, cleaning them in the hospital when you have your law degree and you were working in black suits every day and a tie? Why would you want to do that? If you are established back home, please just build your establishment, build your finances, invest, come and visit, travel and visit and have a good time and go back to where you're respected and go back to where you have your acquaintances, your friends. Go back and take the time to raise your children. Don't, at a certain age, I would not advise. Maybe by the 45s, 50s, I don't see why somebody would want to travel. From my experience though, and again, this is all what I think. These are my thoughts. But before those ages, please, by all means. Please, by all means. Because this traveling has a way of catapulting you, okay? The things that you are able to, you'll be maybe use 10 years to do in Africa. When you travel, you might be able to use 5 years to do it. That is a good enough time to shave off your projects. So by all means, okay, until our leaders become sensible, or no, these leaders won't, until we start having new sensible leaders that feel for the people, until ourselves as diaspora, we start going back with everything that we learn and everything that we gain to invest and build our own continent, to allow our youths to stay there and not desire to travel. I would encourage you as a youth to travel. It is good, okay? All right, so those are my thoughts about traveling, and I've just listed a few of the challenges you would face. Now, I would, in my next video, talk about the things I wish I knew. The things I wish I knew before I traveled out of Cameroon, out of Africa to the US. So when you watch that, you'll be able to have more details on how to prepare for your hopefully imminent trip. Okay? All right. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, share, like, comment. Most especially, if you have any other ideas to add to mine, they are welcome. So you have a wonderful rest of the day. Ciao.